Hey everyone, my name's Kate, and you might notice I'm not at the Eastside Freedom Library again this week. I am at my house because we are staying inside and trying to stay safe. So I am in my basement and I'm going to read you two stories, and you might hear some squeaking noises while I'm reading to you. And that's because my whole family is upstairs walking around, and so you might hear my ceiling squeaking sometimes. Um, so the first book that I have for you today is called Wings, and it's by Christopher Myers. And again, we don't have Dave's great camera work for us this week, so we're just going to have to look at the pictures while I hold them. But there's great pictures in this book, so try to show them to you as best I can. Look at that strange boy. Everyone from the neighborhood is pointing fingers and watching the sky. How is he doing that? They stretch their necks and they shake their heads. Icarus Jackson, the new boy on my block, is flying above the rooftops. He's swooping and diving, looping past people's windows and over the crowd. I don't think he's strange. Icarus Jackson, the fly boy, came to my school last Thursday. His long, strong, proud wings followed wherever he went. The whole school was staring, eyes and wagging tongues. They whispered about his wings, his hair, and his shoes, like they whisper about how quiet I am. Our teacher complained that the other kids couldn't help but gawk and stare. He said that Icarus's wings blocked the blackboard and made it hard for the students to pay attention. The teacher told Icarus to leave class until he could figure out what to do with his wings. He left the room quietly, dragging his feathers behind him. One boy snickered. At recess, the snicker grew into a giggle and spread across the playground. Soon, all the kids were laughing at Icarus Jackson's useless wings. I thought that if he flew just once, everybody would stop laughing. Icarus looked up, flapped his wings a couple times, and then jumped into the air. He swept through the schoolyard like a slow-motion, instant replay. But the other kids were not impressed. One girl grabbed the basketball. A boy stuffed the handball in his pocket. Somebody nagged, "No one likes a show-off." Their words sent Icarus drifting into the sky, away from the glaring eyes and the pointing fingers. I waited for them to point back at me as I watched Icarus float farther and farther away. Walking home from school, I knew how he felt, how lonely he must be. Maybe I should have said something to those mean kids. I ran through the streets with my eyes to the sky, searching the clouds for Icarus. He struggled to stay in the air. His wings drooped and his head hung low. He landed heavily on the edge of a building and sat with the pigeons. Pigeons don't make fun of people. A policeman passing by blew his whistle. "You, with the wings, come down from there. Stay yourself on the ground. You'll get into trouble. You'll get hurt." It seemed to me Icarus was already in trouble and hurt. Could the policeman put him in jail for flying? For being too different? When the neighborhood's kids saw the policeman yelling at him, they exploded with laughter. Icarus dropped to the ground. "Stop!" I cried. "Leave him alone." And they did. I called to Icarus and he sailed closer to me. I told him what someone should have told him a long time ago. Your flying is beautiful. For the first time, I saw Icarus smile. At that moment, I forgot about the kids who had laughed at him and me. I was just glad that Icarus had found his wings again. "Look at that amazing boy," I cried to all the people on the streets as I pointed to my new friend Icarus swirling through the sky. And I have one more book, if you can tolerate the noise coming from the upstairs. It's called If Kids Ruled the World. Kids ran the world. If kids ran the world, we would make it a kinder, better place. Maybe we'd run the world in a big treehouse and everybody would be welcome. We'd take care of the most important things. We know people all over the world are hungry and everyone would have enough to eat. The food would taste delicious and it would make people healthy and strong. Kids who had extra food would help bring it to people who need it. Everyone would have a safe place to live. Bad housing would be fixed, and new housing wouldn't ruin the land or the sea. No matter how sick people were, they would have the medicine they needed. If you were lonely in the hospital, kids would come visit you and let you play with their pets. Somebody friendly would help you with a big smile. Everyone would laugh a lot more. Kids would have more picnics and games and funny books and movies. People would spend more time playing and less time worrying. No bullying would be allowed. You could climb trees or dress up and dance and sing just for fun. Kids could act very silly. All children would go to good schools where every teacher was nice and had lots of books, music, and art. Classes would be fun and exciting. Schools would serve yummy meals and have great sports and big playgrounds. Kids would love school. People could wear any kind of clothes and nobody would tease them. Children would all live with people who loved them. More forests would be planted and protected. All the beaches, pools, and parks would belong to everyone. There would be no clubs or places that kept people out. Friendship, kindness, and generosity would be worth more than money. People would take care of the planet and animals and plants. Nobody would throw trash on the ground or in the ocean or make the air dirty. People would have religious freedom and no one would punish them or call them names, and everyone would learn the happiness of being thankful. Even if they were busy, people would remember to stop and see the beauty of a sunset or a rainbow. All over the world, people would feel safe with one another. People would live in peace together. No more hate. Everybody would learn how to forgive. If kids ran the world, would these things be possible? Yes, we think so. Because kids know that everyone can learn to share. Kids know that how to try to do their very best. And kids know that the most important thing in the world isn't money or being king or queen or pushing other people around. It's love, giving it, sharing it, and showing it. And that's why if kids ran the world, we'd make it a wonderful place for everyone to live. Grown-ups too. But you know what's cool about that story? I love this story. I think they're right. That's what it would be like if kids ran the world. But you know what's exciting about that? Someday you will run the world. And maybe you will make it a place like we describe in this book. Okay, everybody, I hope you're all staying home and safe and keeping busy in these pandemic times, and I will see you next week.